Hello, welcome to Channeled Messages with Sandra. Today is Friday, April. I just looked. I always forget. April 5th, 2024. So we're going to do a little catch up. The usual, take what resonates. If it doesn't, save it for another day. Save it for another day. It's just my experience. I get feedback 5-10 years later even. If it's general, use your own intuition. If you're listening to these recordings, me or others, you have your own intuition. Play with that more. Practice that more. You need it. We need you to be more intuitive. Yeah, I got a lot going on back behind me. How do you practice your intuition? Play the guessing game. Who's on the phone? Who's calling? What color car will I see next? If you're at elevators, which elevator will come through? Just practice all the time, and you'll find that there's a flow some days and not so much other days. So that's your psychic tip, your intuition tip, little guidance. Let's talk about the eclipse. Let's jump right in there. That got bright all of a sudden. So for some, we know we're already experiencing earthquakes in the northeast U.S. We're experiencing them. One big one on Friday. And while I give the date, it doesn't matter when you're watching this, because when we hear messages, that's when we're supposed to hear them. Yes? Yeah. Depending upon where you live in the country and the world, you should still be preparing. I give the example that when there's tsunamis, villagers, people that lived in the area, would flee prior. Well, how did they know that? Because the stories were passed down from generation to generation. When you see the animals running away and there's no sound from the birds, you follow. If they're running uphill, you run uphill. If they're running through the wood, you run, just go, follow the animals. And as we're seeing what's going on in the world, the animals are reacting. I'm an animal communicator, so I hear them. I do a lot of the horse stables and horse farms and individual, houses for the animals. And I hear them, and they're feeling this, and there are going to be more earthquakes. There's going to be what they call earthquake fog. For some, not for everyone. It depends where you live. What that means is it's going to be almost hard to see for at least 3 days. So make sure you have your lights, your candles, your matches. Make sure you have, for some, not everyone, towels in every room to put at the door. There might be some dust for some, and some parts of U.S. we know the cicadas are coming out. There's 2 different species that come out, and first time in 200 years or something like that. Everyone's talking about this as if this is a natural occurrence. It is and it isn't. But if you follow the path, I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this. If you follow the path, it's almost going north to south, south to west. Who remembers the sun and the moon traveling south, north, south? Who remembers that? So a lot of things have been going on. Timelines have been crossed. We know that because there are things happening in the world where we're saying, well, were they always pedos? Yes, but I think timelines crossed because there weren't, while there were that many, I think we crossed. They're trying to do it again, because on the 8th, they're also turning on CERN. Well, they turned it on already just to get it started. And the 8th and the 10th will have the results. The 8th is, we know that, aside if you want to talk about planets, the Mercury retrograde and all that stuff, that's fine. But we're used to that type of language. We're used to that type of like, all right, I have to prepare. I have to clear. I have to ground. I have to forgive. I have to watch how I speak to people. We know that normally, usually. Pay attention. Pay attention. And if you're one of those people that call the others conspiracy theorists, call the others tinfoil hatters, pay attention. Always open to questions. That's all I'll say for now. I do a lot of channeling in a private group that I have. If you want to join, it's a paid membership. There's 3 different levels to that. Ask questions, I'll answer, brief, very brief. No fear here. There is no fear here. No, none whatsoever. But we prepare. We pass the stories on. So say you prepared and like, oh my gosh, something bad's going to happen. I have to do this. I have to do that. Remember, this is so you have the experience. Our witnessing is the testimony. Our stories become the myths. Myths are not made up. Most myths are not fake. They're factual, based on it. Just it was changed. It was changed on us. So we breathe into your days. Breathe into them. We prepare. And if nothing happens, it's so you can pass that knowledge on to others and the future generations, because there is reincarnation and you will be coming back. So what kind of world do you want to come back to? What kind of world? I want to come back to a healthier world, a more loving world. And there is so much love here. There is so much beauty and love. Let's focus on that. Focus on that. Prepare. Prepare for an outage. Prepare for the cicadas. Prepare for more earthquakes. There will definitely be more earthquakes. Prepare because we have the chemtrails. Prepare to keep detoxing and get yourself healthy. You need to prepare for this. And if you don't have children or you're single, it doesn't matter. You prepare. You teach. You watch one, or learn one. You do one, you memorize one, you practice one, and then you teach one. That's how we survive. That's how we're supposed to be. That's literally how we're supposed to be in this earth realm. Okay, as I said, any questions, go ahead and ask. Thank you. Thank you. I do want to say something. I usually end any type of videos with you are loved, and you are lovable. And go play. Keep that in your heart. Keep that in your heart at all times. You are loved, and you are lovable. Never forget that. You are extremely powerful. Let's work together on the side of good, for positivity, for higher vibration. And I don't mean like woo-woo, let's everything be positive, because it's not. At least that's not my experience, and not my experience of most of my clients and people, right? But we strive for that. That's what we strive for. So strive for the happy. Strive for the joyful. Strive to bring all your pieces back to you at the end of the day. Clean, pure, fresh. And then strive every morning to wake up and say, I'm going to find one thing that's beautiful. I'm going to smile once today. That's the ticket. Okay, so now go play.